Well, hi, how are you? I'm Karen Sullivan, and I'm excited to be here with you today. I have some great things that I wanted to tell you about, and our Body Basics is about shoulders today. And it's important to focus on shoulders, and what I have to say will, I think, change things if you have shoulder issues. Yes, I'm sure they will. Anyway, I want to encourage you to please stay till the end of the show because I have a big announcement to make. I'm very excited. And, Rebecca's here this morning or this afternoon. Terrific. Hey, how are ya? So, thank you for watching. And I love shoulders. I love the fact that, well, there's nothing nicer than having, a dress or a garment or a blouse or something where your shoulders are exposed and they look so lovely. And they help you to be able to reach up high and wave at people, get something off a top shelf. But the shoulders can also show you a terrible time because they can be injured easily. We have to use the shoulders in order to do things, and it causes a lot of strain and you can get injuries, okay? Now, if you hurt, what I tell you will help to mitigate the pain. And I was doing some research before the show, and we'll get to that in a little bit, and I'll tell you some of the things that I found. But what I have found is the recommendations I have to give you work. They have worked. I've done it for 20 years with patients and clients, and it works, okay? So how many of you watching in live or replay have shoulder issues and have pain? If you have pain, I'd like you to comment, ouch, okay? And do a rating from 1 to 10, whether, your pain is 1 is incidental, 10 is it's pretty debilitating, okay? And then if you don't have pain and you want to make sure you never do have pain, then I'd like you to just comment no pain and smiley face perhaps, okay? So you can give me thumbs up also. That'll let me know that you're there. And so I also encourage you to share. Now, when you share today, I have a gift for people who are sharing my program with their friends. Oh, good. Becca has no pain. Amazing. I have a way that we can work with it to keep your shoulders nice and healthy, okay? So if you have a friend that you think might benefit, sharing is very important. Let them know right now. Share and tag them in the share, and then they will see it and perhaps are able to come on, or they'll be able to watch it in replay. I am giving gifts to people whether they're watching it in replay or live with me right now, okay? So also, do you know you can share these things in any groups that you might be in? So remember that. Spread the word, spread the wealth, okay? Today, we're back. I'm telling you, we're talking about shoulders. Now, how many of you have heard of a rotator cuff? Can you comment, yep? Yep, I've heard of them. Okay, so we're going to talk about the rotator cuff. How many of you think, you can just give me a thumbs up for this, that the rotator cuff is sort of similar to the hip, where it's this ball and socket and it kind of goes over like that. Have you heard of, is that what you imagine it to be? Here's this complex here. It looks like it's probably a rotator cuff, okay? A cuff that surrounds, okay? Well, truth of the matter is a rotator cuff is not an encapsulated thing. It's not. It has 3 bones that are a part of it. One is the humerus bone, which is the bone in your arm that goes up and has that bulbous head on the top of it. The other one is the clavicle, and that's this. The clavicle. It's high in your chest here, okay? The clavicle. And the other thing is the scapula. And the scapula is sort of hourglass in some way, except it's got a smaller end and then a bigger end, okay? And the scapula, those 3 bones fit together with the humerus coming up like this, and then you have the clavicle coming off, and then in the back you've got the scapula coming off. That's the rotator cuff, and it's held together by tendons and ligaments, period. So it's not as stable as you might think. Within that are, the muscles and the tendons are connected in there, and then you can have nerve endings that are running through from your brain down in through your leg, down into your arms, and so that you can have feeling in your hands. So we're going to talk about the problems that happen with our shoulders. Now, with those three things, I brought something to show you so that you can understand how that shoulder looks, okay, and the mechanics. This is a golf tee, and this is a golf ball. And so I hope I can keep it up here. There we go. That's pretty much what the rotator cuff looks like, okay? All it is this is representative of the golf, of the humerus, okay? And the golf ball is the humerus there, and these are the other bones. But if you were to attach rubber bands coming from every direction to stabilize this ball on here, that's the tendons and the ligaments. And of course, at the other end of the tendon that's attached to here, at the other end out here, are the muscles. So I got to put this down for a second. So when we are working our shoulders, there are the muscles, that's the front of the shoulder, the medial head, and then the posterior head. And of course, we're going to focus on those muscles, although there are other muscles like your latissimus dorsi, your lat muscles in your side, your biceps come up into here, your chest muscles figure into it. In the back, you have your trapezius muscle, okay? I don't want to get all crazy about complicated with that, but right now let's look at the shoulders, okay? So the shoulder muscles, the three muscles that are in there. So what happens if you imagine here's these rubber bands coming off of here, and let's say you only are doing something that makes it so that you're pulling and using predominantly the front of your chest, okay, the front of your shoulder. Alrighty. And so what will happen is that muscle will get thicker and stronger. And what it does is it pulls that golf ball in one direction. But you see, because this doesn't have much of a lip, that golf ball can move a little bit. All right. And that's where impingements come in, where you have those nerve endings that run through there. And when you get those little jolts of electricity in your shoulder, that can be what is some of the cause. Of course, there's a whole lot of other things that could happen with arthritic pain in there, and you get little calcifications and bone spurs and everything. But I'm talking about the stabilization of a healthy joint that happens. That's why it's important to work all your muscles, side to side, front and back, left to right, okay, to keep that muscle, keep it all in balance, keep that ball on that humerus, okay? Alrighty, so when I worked with swimmers, one of the things that I found was they had such strong shoulders or chest, and what it did was it rolled their shoulders forward, and then their shoulder blades would stick out in the back like wings. And so we had to work to try to get it so that the back would get stronger, the rear deltoids, the back shoulder muscles would get stronger to hold it back and stabilize that shoulder rotator cuff, okay? So we have those problems too, even though we're not performance athletes and everything. But I need to tell you one other thing. There's another part of shoulder injury that can happen, and that can be from inflammation, even just from food. You don't have to put it on your shoulder, but it's when you're putting it in your body and your body just responds. It can't handle the food, and it causes inflammation. First, it starts in your gut, and then with prolonged exposure to certain kinds of foods that are not good for you, it can get into the joints. Have you ever heard someone talk about gout? If you've heard about gout, I want you to give me a thumbs up, or 2 or 3. And it's also known as gouty arthritis, and it's inflammation, and it's an autoimmune disorder. Okay, so those things can cause pain in here. Now, of course, the people that are with me today are not seeing any doctors. They have no pain, which is wonderful. But for those of you that have pain, are you seeing a doctor now? And if you're in physical therapy, can you make a comment PT? Now, these are important comments to make because I will respond to them later, even if you've watched this show in replay, and then I will be able to give you some feedback and answer some additional questions. I'll be in touch with you, so please continue to comment, okay? Now, there are remedies, as I told you. There is an exercise that is called, I call it circles and eights. It is also known as pendular circles. And back on the East Coast, the physical therapy departments that I worked in, they had, let's see, they did the circles and they also did figure eights. But since I'm in the Midwest, the schools out here or the people out here, nobody that I've met so far does the figure eights, but it helps for stabilization and helps the shoulder. So in my research that I was doing before the show, it helps with range of motion and healing. I was trying to understand why it works. Because in the 20 years that I've been doing this and working, coaching people, every time I give the exercise to someone that has shoulder pain, their shoulder pain goes away as long as they're doing the exercise. And I didn't quite understand why, but it has to do, in this article that I read, didn't tell me any more about why it does, but I know that they're also called Codman exercises. They were invented by Edna. Or Edina, E-D-I-N-A, Codman. There we go. Sorry. And so that was a first for me. I learned something new today, but this exercise is phenomenal. The other thing that will help is, I've told you about this before, this joint and muscle pain cream from Shaklee. It's terrific. And what I have for you today is, if you share my show, look, I've got a little handout that's the circles and eights that lady's doing it leaning on a chair. And this is a description of it. So I will send you that, and I will send you 2 samples of this wonderful cream. It's terrific because it's menthol. It's an analgesic. It doesn't have chemicals in it. It's all totally natural and safe for you to put on your skin. After all, the skin's the largest organ, and it absorbs into your body. Okay, so that's my gift to anyone, whether you are in replay or you're watching live. Okay, so thinking about that, and I want to go into something else that I learned about that I'd like you to remember about working with shoulders. Okay, make sure that you rest. And you can either ice or heat. There's always controversy on either side. I think it's basically whichever makes you feel better. The heat can be lovely, but sometimes ice cools an inflammation. If your shoulder hurts, don't lift. Don't work it out. Give it a break. And I wouldn't even do the circles and eights exercises. Okay? So with that in mind, if you have any questions, I encourage you to write to me. And now I am going to tell you of my big announcement. For those of you who have followed me for years and years, I had another web page that was based off of the title of my book, The Zen of Weight Loss, and it was called ZWL Coaching. Well, that is no more. I have a new website, and it is called Life Health More. And in the description for this program is the URL for it. So it's https://lifehealthmore.net. And if you go in and join our community, opt in, while it's asking questions about, let's see, weight loss, weight gain. And it's actually the roller coaster, the diet roller coaster. And Life Health More is introducing people who are interested in getting weight off, getting fit, getting healthy, but it goes beyond. That's the more part. Okay, so if you join this community, we are going to share thoughts, ideas, support each other, and I will always have a nutritional component to help you, because I know that nutrition is the foundation that many people are missing. So I want you to today go and join Life Health More, and you will be able to get emails from me and correspondence. And when you're here at Life Health More on Facebook, it's another opportunity for you to be able to be in touch with me, ask questions, see the information that I'm sharing with you, okay? So you're going to go first to Life Health More. The second thing that you're going to do is get your free health print. You cannot get better until you know how you feel now and what's actually going on. So the free health print is at lifehealthmore.myshackley.com. And it's also in the description for this show. Go there, take that wonderful health print. It's 20 questions. It'll take you 5 minutes, and then I'll contact you and we'll have a Zoom meeting. We'll get to look face to face and talk, go over your health print, make your plan for how you're going to get healthy and strong and feel good, whether or not you have shoulder pain. This is a terrific opportunity to get coaching from me one-on-one that people are paying a lot of money for, but being part of my community and being involved with the Life Health More network, you will get great benefits. Trust me. The other thing that I like you to do, go ahead, order your cream so that you can start using that and getting relief now. And remember, Shackley has 100% money back guarantee. You will find that this is going to help you. It's going to help you feel better and take the strain and stress and inflammation out. It'll make you feel good. Okay? So if there are any questions, I'd like to say, if you've watched my show before, I'm really glad that you're back. If you're brand new, wasn't it exciting to come on a day when I have such a great announcement? Please be part of our community, because I'm interested in offering lots of help to people, because I believe that the world needs to get healthy, and I'm a person that knows a way that you can get healthy. So thanks so much for joining me today, and in replay, be well.